Alright, we live. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. And giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. Alright, we the Hebrew Israelites coming in and week out. That's prophesying the destruction and the dismantling of a system that's been on the scene for a mighty long time. And that system that we're talking about is the Babylonian mystery system, right? That's been on the scene for a minute. And the kingdoms of this world, they're all coming in the spirit of Babylon. And who is the modern day Babylonians today, who is ruling in the world today in the affairs of men? It's this American system, see? Because when the system was brought on the scene, the people around the world was looking at it as it was the anointed ones of America, of the Creator. But in actuality, she was coming on the scene as a lamb, and she was speaking as a dragon. So the first scripture that we're going to go through today, right? We're going to be looking at the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation. Let's get it. The 13th chapter of the book of Revelation, the 11th verse. And it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." So, who is this beast coming up out of the sea that got two horns, speaking as a lamb, but in actuality, he's a dragon? See, that's the American system. It's because the two horns represents what? One horn represents Christianity, and the other horn represents what? White supremacy. It's because when America was established in the earth, when the founding fathers came from England, when they fought the Revolutionary War, they had the world thinking that they was fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. It's because when George Washington, Christopher Columbus, and a lot of these people was coming over here to what they would call the New World, they were supposed to be breaking away from England, because England was looked upon as what? The Great Terror, right? That she wasn't practicing what she preached in the earth. So when America was created in the country, it was supposed to be created off of what? Christian values. And she used the Bible as a mechanism to bring forth her democracy. So when she came up preaching what she would call Christianity. Because America is supposed to be the home of the brave, the land of the free. But in actuality, the Christianity that she was preaching in the earth was the same Christianity the heathens that was before her was preaching. Who is that? That's Constantine. That's Eusebius, right? That's the heathens. that came on the scene 300 years after the nation of Israel was fled out of what they would call Jerusalem, right? So when they set up what you would call the Council of Nice, they started the process of doing what? Strategically putting themselves into the nation of Israel's history. So when they started to preach their form of the gospel, you would think that it's coming from the nation of Israel themselves. That they was the Gentiles of the Bible that was following after who? Yahshua HaMashiach. But in actuality, they not following after him. See? It's because the first form of changing what you would call the Messiah, they had to do what? They had to change his name. See? You can't translate Yahshua Ben Yosef or Yahshua HaMashiach into what you would call Jesus. You can't do that. Because this is basic elementary. We understand that a lot of us don't have it, but this is basic elementary. Words don't change, they remain the same. So you can't change a man's name from one thing and call it another thing in another language. You can't do that. So the first concept of changing the scope of the Messiah is by changing his name. See? So you're going to change his name from Jesus, and then you're going to you're going to change his name from Yahshua, then you're going to start preaching what? That the Messiah name is Jesus, and that what? He's the Son of God. See? So when it says in the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation, the 11th verse, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." And what does the earth symbolize? The earth symbolizes what? Confusion. The sea represents what? Confusion of masses of people. So the two horns, the first horns represents what? White supremacy. Because the same form of white supremacy that was preached throughout what? The Caucasians that was ruling in the earth is the same white supremacy that the Americans was preaching. Right? Before there was a country called America, they was fighting for what? Freedom from England. And what is the other horn represents? Christianity. Because it's through Christianity that she has done what? Blinded the masses of people. A lot of you Christians think that you're worshiping the Creator, but in actuality, you're not. See? It's because it's prophesied that you was going to do this, that you was going to do what? Speak great words against the Creator, and you're going to do what? Change times and laws. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's turn to the book of Daniel. Oh, the Creator know what I want. The book of Daniel. And I'm going to start at the 7th chapter and the 25th verse. It says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High." And who is the saints of the Most High? That's the nation of Israel. That's the so-called Negro. So what is the modern day Romans are doing? See? They're going to take the nation of Israel into captivity, and they're going to rob them of the knowledge itself. So you're not going to be called the nation of Israel anymore. You're going to be called the Negro, the colored man, the African American, the coon, the shine. See, that's what's finna happen. So when the scripture says what? And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. How you gonna wear them out? You gonna put them in slavery. See? And it says, and think to change times and laws. That's why the Christians today say that the law of Moses don't exist anymore. See, we under grace. But the Creator never told us to celebrate Christmas and Easter. So when it's talking about times and laws, what is that? We're going to be worshiping the gods of the heathens, because they're going to take this document, what they call the Bible, and they're going to do what? They're going to misconstrue it. They're going to say that Shaul or Paul is that he started Christianity. See, these are the lies. This is the beast speaking as a lamb, but in actuality, he's a dragon. See? It's because they're going to form what you would call the Council of Nice. And people don't even know how significant and how valuable that history is. Because it shows you how they changed history. How Constantine says what? That he had a vision from the Most High, and that the Most High gave him the vision of the cross, right? And that he's going to use the cross to go around and do what? Conquer. But what does the cross represent? The cross represents what? The worship system of who? Tammuz, Nimrod, and Semiramis. Because the cross goes back all the way to what? Fertility worship, y'all. And you know, our people, the nation of Israel, the so-called Negro, see, we caught up in the middle of it. We follow the heathens' gods better than the heathen do. We more good Christians than the so-called white man is. This is how delusional and caught up in the rabbit hole that the nation of Israel is, see? So it reads, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand unto a time, and the times, and dividing the times. And what is that talking about? It's talking about the times of the Gentiles, and how the Creator is going to give the Gentiles a time to rule. The Gentiles been ruling for 2,500 and something years. See? So when we looking at 2024, that's really 2,000 years that the Gentiles have been ruling in the affairs of men. But now it's coming a time that the Creator is going to do what? The Creator is about to remove the nations out of power. See? It's because they have fulfilled their lot. They took the so-called black man into captivity. They robbed him of the knowledge of self. They took away from him the ability to transmit history down to his kids. See? This is what she has done. So the Creator used the Gentiles to punish the so-called black man, and now the Creator is doing what? She's going to remove the Gentiles out of power. See, a lot of these cats, man, see, a lot of you don't understand that this is a true testament that the Creator exists in the earth is because you know that the Creator exists by what he has done to his people. Those Jews that's over there that's living in the land today, they are what? They are imposters. That's not the nation of Israel. Because when the nation of Israel come back to the earth, it's supposed to be peace. If they're the Most High's people, they're supposed to be bringing for what? Justice and equality in the earth by what? By introducing the world to the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Creator. But we don't see that in the land of Jerusalem today. They had gay pride parades in the land of Jerusalem. See? They're killing the other nations in Jerusalem. They're telling the other nations that's living over there that you can't have land in the country. We gotta have our foot on your neck. And if you don't allow us to put our foot on your neck, we're gonna do what? We're gonna slander you in the media. And when we get through slandering you in the media, when the people galvanize towards us, we're gonna exterminate you. That's not the people of the Most High. And all those people that's over there are nothing but Indo-Europeans and Europeans themselves. Benjamin Netanyahu is a what? He's a Russian that practiced the religion called Judaism. Ariel Sharon was a what? Was a Jew. See? And all those heathens over there, see, these are this is the times of the Gentiles. The Gentiles are in rulership in the affairs of man. But now we see that the Creator is doing what? Strategically removing them off the scene. And how is the Creator going to remove them off the scene? He's going to do what? They're going to fight the battle of what they would call Armageddon. Armageddon is being fought today. And it behooves you nations, especially the so-called black man, to return back to Yah, Yehovah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if we don't do this, we're going to be caught up in the middle of it. And we are already caught up in the middle of it. You got our people today thinking that they're under the religion of Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, that they're following the Creator. But in actuality, they not. See? And if the Creator is not in your mindset to lead and guide you throughout all truth, you're going to be ushered into the Third World War just as well. Because this Third World War is not going to just be fought in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. It's going to be global. It's 6 or 7 billion people on the planet. And when this Third World War really take place, when we see the bombs being dropped over here in the country, there's only going to be a small group of people that's going to be on the earth. We see the Jehovah's Witnesses out here every day. Why they not telling the people this? They got their signs, they got their billboards, right? They got their Bibles. They got a watchtower Bible. They supposed to be the watchmen of the Creator. Why they not warning the people of the destruction that's about to be unleashed on the human family? The Christians, the term Christ goes back into the Greek, which is Christos, means what? Anointed. It goes back to the Hebrew word, which is what? Mashiach, means what? Anointed. So if the Christians are the anointed ones of the Creator, then why are they not prophesying about the death and destruction that's going to happen in the earth and the affairs of men today? If the Jews are the people of the Bible, why they not prophesying about the destruction that's going to happen in the earth today? Why they not doing this? If Islam is the prophets of the earth today, why are they not prophesying about the destruction and the terror of the Creator that's going to be unleashed on the family? It's because why? The Creator is not dealing with those folks. That's why. The Creator did not put the Spirit on these people in the last days to prophesy about the destruction that's going to happen in the earth today. There's only one group of people that the Creator is going to give that to, and that's the nation of Israel, the so-called Negro. Well, how do you know that? It's because the so-called Negro, he's still in captivity today. He's still in slavery. If you got a social security number, you're in slavery. See? If you still calling yourself an African American, a colored man, you still in slavery. How you gonna be a nation of people of two continents? This is what white supremacy has taught our people throughout in the educational system. So it goes back to the question: if the Creator wiped the nation of Israel off the scene spiritually, washing away from our mindset the knowledge of self, and making us a proverb and a byword, what do you think that's going to happen to you so-called white folks in the earth? What do you think that's going to happen? If the so-called black man don't know who he is, he don't know that he's Israel, and he's running around here mumbling. What are we talking about? How is he mumbling? He's mumbling is because he don't know who he is. You got Tariq Nasheed saying on his page that he started a group called the Fundamental Black Americans. What is that? That's the proverbs and the byword. You got our people that started a group called ADOS. What's that? American Descendants of Slaves. Right? They trying to fight for reparations in the earth. What is that? Proverbs and bywords. And there's no reparations to a people that's not a nation of people. You got the United Nations for a reason. Well, all the nations of the world come together and they talk about the issues that's going on in their country. From a political, religious, and a social standpoint of view, this is why they come together to the United Nations. There's no seat in the United Nations for the so-called Negro, or what they would call the African American. You know why? It's because we're not a nation of people. We're a people that's exiled, right? Scattered throughout the four winds. So, if there's not a seat for our people in the United Nations that's going to talk about the issues that's plaguing us today, then that means that we're not a nation of people. So how are we going to call ourselves ADOS or FBA? See, Fundamental Black America. How you going to do that? You doing this is because why? We are robbed of the knowledge of self. Second verse. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wounds was healed. So who was the first beast? Who are they talking about? The beast that was before him. See, America is coming on the scene in the same spirit as the Roman Empire. That's why America is referred to as modern day Rome. So where are we living at today? We're living in modern day Rome. Because Rome is the kingdom or a city who was bruised and that later on was healed. How was she healed? It's because she was brought on the scene. Her spirit, her customs and traditions was brought back on the scene by who? What we would call the Americans. She exercised all the power of the first beast. And he doeth great wonders. So he made fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. And what is that? That's her military. That's her military, because when she started to come over here, she spake as a lamb, promoting Christianity, but in actuality, she was bringing forth what? What they would call white supremacy. See? Racism in the earth. I'm going to put my feet on the indigenous dark-skinned people of the earth. And not just the dark-skinned, anybody that's quote-unquote poor or beneath them. They're going to put their foot on their neck. And this is what, ain't that's what she did to our people in the earth? How they came over to the west coast of Africa and they saw the tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi over there. We weren't worshiping the Creator like we should, but we still had an understanding on who we were as a nation of people. The greatest thing that has ever been told, and that has never been told in history, that when they came and got us from the west coast of Africa, that the so-called white man knew that she was taking the nation of Israel into slavery. See? They knew that. The founding fathers, the people that had the ships, they had all the cargo with the black man and slave, putting them inside the slave ships. We was packed in the slave ships like sardines. They knew that they was taking us into captivity, that they was taking the nation of Israel into captivity, and that eventually they was going to rob him of the knowledge of self. They was going to exploit him. See? Whip his back for 400 years. Influence him with false religion, telling him that Jesus is your God now. You gotta worship, you gotta practice Christmas, you gotta follow Easter, you gotta deal with Sunday worship, see? And when they was doing that, they was doing it to the nation of Israel, and they did it on purpose. So when we talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome, our people are still dealing with that today. And what is the stress? The stress is the slavery. And we're still in slavery spiritually. See? This is why when we go into our community, there's turmoil. We kill each other like nothing. It's because when you don't teach a people who they are about culture, language, customs and traditions, where they come from, they don't look at each other as brothers and sisters. And what is the other thing that you Caucasians, you other nations are doing in the community? You Muslims, you Christians, and you Jews, you exploit our talents in the earth. That we can sing real good, we can rap, we can play basketball. You use rap against us to do what? To kill one another in the earth. Because why? You coming as a lamb, but in actuality, you're a fire-breathing dragon, see? And the fire that you have breathed upon our people for all this time is what? Racism, destruction and terror, see? These are some of the fire that you have breathed upon our people. But now the Creator is doing what? He's going to put out that fire, see? And we're going to start the process of doing what? Freezing a lot of you cats. Because as smart as y'all are, y'all still dealing with about 32 degrees of knowledge. Water freezes at 32 degrees. So a lot of you cats that know about, know how to split the atom, you know about mathematics, you know about science, right? All the arts that the Creator has created in the earth, you still frozen at 32 degrees. That's why your society is not gonna, that's why it's not gonna stand. It's because in order for you to be really God-like, you gotta be operating at what? 360 degrees. Says if he doeth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. That's you Gentile nations coming amongst our people and other nations. When you came over here to America, you fought wars against the nations that was ruling over here. You fought wars. Your military, your guns, your bombs and things of this nature. This is how you making fire coming in the sight of man, is because your military bombs and your weapons of mass destruction, the nation had never seen that before. They had never seen that before. Scared these people half to death. And deceived them that dwelled on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Because when they was doing it, they got the commission and the okay from who? From the Catholic Church. See, the Catholic Church running around here acting like she's a model citizen for humanity, but in actuality, she's one of the reasons why these nations are going to war. Because the Roman Catholic Church is who? That's the fourth beast. See? That's the fourth beast that's ruling in the affairs of men today. and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wounds by a sword and did live. And what is the image? It's the American flag. Because the American flag goes back to what? Rome. The blue and the red symbolizes what? Nimrod. The white represents who? Semiramis. And the star represents who? Tammuz. And this is the same spirit that the Romans, the Greeks, the Medo-Persians, and the Babylonians came in. Because they all got it from the mama, which is who? Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. So when they was building the American flag, aka, and what is another image of the beast that's gonna live? It's through Christianity. Because they telling the world that they are God's chosen people and that they worship the Creator, but in actuality, they going around the world and doing what? They inciting wars, causing dissension between different tribal members to gather the natural resources of these different nations. That's not being of the anointed. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And that is what? That's the old Roman Empire, y'all. This is what America is doing. America built with George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Christopher Columbus, when they came over here and they started to war against what they would call the Native Americans. They started to build this country up, and this country was built upon what? What they would call Christian values, or what they would call Judeo-Christianity. But in actuality, their customs and traditions went back to the Roman Empire. So this is what the Creator is telling us in the earth today. Why your preachers and pastors is not coming out here to prophesy about America? It's because why? They are a part of it. Whether you black, white, purple, or orange, beige, whatever color, a lot of the leadership are a part of the beast. And this is what I'm saying, that when the Creator started to bring forth his wrath in the earth, a lot of you you're gonna reap the whirlwind, see? Because a lot of you are hypocrites, man. You say one thing and you believe another. We talk about love and kindness in the earth, but in actuality, how you gonna speak love and kindness, but every time we talk about reparations, you don't want to give it to us. But you give the Jews billions of dollars a year to help them destroy the Palestinians in the earth, see? But all of that is gonna come to naught is because the Creator is gonna wipe you cats off the scene, man. It says that he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And who is the beast that it's talking about? It's the old Roman Empire. And it says that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See? They was killing you back in the day if you wasn't a Christian. you didn't follow Christian values and Christian customs and traditions, you was being killed in the earth. Because Christmas and Easter, Sunday worship goes back to what? The Babylonian mystery system. How y'all brothers and sisters doing today? That's where it goes back to. It goes back to the old Babylonian mystery system. And if you wasn't following their customs and traditions, you was going to be put to death. And that's just not Christianity, see? That's Judaism, that's Islam, see? Because all these people that's fighting in the earth today, they are professing themselves to be God's chosen people. How you going to be God's chosen people, the enlightened ones, and then you come to the neighborhood and you destroy our neighborhoods, y'all? You got us involved in politics and things that, you know, politics, you got to look at politics. This guy, he made a good point. I forgot who it was. Oh, it was Smackwater. You know, Smackwater, he said that politics is like an alley mechanic. Every time you go to him and fix your car, he'll fix the brakes, but it's another problem that's happened no, you want the brakes fixed, but he gonna half do the job. And if he fixed the brakes, it's gonna be another problem that's going on. Something wrong with your transmission. Then he fixed the transmission, the carburetor is broke. There's always something going on with the car every time. It's because they're not in the business of fixing your car. They're in the business of making money. Do you understand that if they fix the car, that you won't need them anymore? If they really fix your transmission, they really fix your brakes, right? And that's the same thing with politics in the country. They talk about how they gonna fix the problem, but when they so-called fix one problem, there's another problem. And then they fix this problem, then it's another problem that's going on. But they're not addressing the problem in the first place. Because why? They don't want to address the problem that's going on in the first place. They want you to continue to come so that they can fix your so-called fix your problems, but in actuality, the car is still gonna be broken. And that's what's wrong with religion. That's what's wrong with politics. It's just like that old alley mechanic that's in the neighborhood. His job is to make money. His job is not to fix the problem. When you go to a doctor, the doctor is good with diagnosing you with something, but they're not gonna fix the problem. They say you got HIV, they say you got AIDS, they say you got cancer, they say you got all these different diseases, but their job is not to fix the problem, their job is to make money. So then we go to these doctors, they give us these pills, and they say the pills is going, all these pills is going to do this for you. But then you start having another problem somewhere else. You take chemo, cancer spreads. But the cancer wasn't spreading before you start taking the chemo. Right? And that's the same mentality with these Caucasians, with these nations. They talk about how much we gotta love one another. You my brother and all this type of stuff. But if you my brother, you gotta treat me, you gotta treat your brother as you would treat yourself. You can't set up a business in your brother's neighborhood, take all the money out of the neighborhood and leave him with nothing. If you my brother, you can't set up an educational system in the country that's going to teach our people. You're going to teach your brother that he was a race of nobodies, that he ain't make no contributions in the earth, that he's a savage that live in the jungle of a subhuman level, but then you say that you my brother. You can't be my brother in the earth and say that if it wasn't for Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, that we would be still savages. I know that slavery was wrong, but if you didn't learn, if we didn't enslave you, you wouldn't have never learned about Jesus. See, that's the devil. And this is what these people are teaching us in our school systems. If you read the Book of Mormon says that it was the children of the Lamanites against, I think it was the Lamanites against somebody. I forgot. I got to go back and deal with that. But one of the children of, I can't think of the father's name, but one of the children, their skin turned black. And why are they saying this? It's because they telling you that black being dark skinned is a curse. Where did they get that from? They got that from the book of Leviticus, the 13th chapter. When you had a lot of our people was catching leprosy. And that wasn't just our people. That was people in the world. They was catching leprosy. So you had the contagious leprosy and you had the clean leprosy. Quote unquote, what they would call white skin is considered clean leprosy. But you had the people, they was catching leprosy and you was putting them off and you was putting them off away from the people. But when you caught when you had the clean leprosy, you was able to come amongst the people again. But the Gentiles took that whole concept and they started to say what? That black skin is a curse. See? And that in order for you to be saved, you got to come up under our God. And see, this is what the black pastors, the black preachers are teaching our people today. This is why we call ourselves what? The children of Ham. Where did they get that from? They got that from their wicked slave masters. That's where they got it from. Because these are the customs and traditions that was passed on to our people throughout history. Because the children of Ham is supposed to be what? They supposed to be the cursed seed, right? So when they was coming over here to get us as slaves, they said that in order for us to seek salvation, we got to get up under the God of who? Of the Christians. So this is the hypocrisy that America is preaching, the so-called white man is preaching in the earth. Not just America, the nations around the world was doing this. So this is why we're reading the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation, to bring out the trueness of what the Creator is saying in the earth. Because America is the modern day Roman Empire that's in the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation. And the two horns that she was, because a horn represents strength, see? And what is the strength that she was pushing in the earth? It was her white supremacy. It was her false Christianity, see? That's what she was pushing. And it says that throughout her history. When you read Lost Tribes in Promised Land, when you really comprehend what's been going on, this is the so-called white man coming in the earth preaching false religion, y'all. Because in actuality, the so-called white man is anti-Yah. There's no such thing as anti-Christ. She's anti-Yah is because why? She's speaking great words against the Creator. She's against the Creator. That's why the Creator's going to wipe her off the scene. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he calls all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And what does the mark symbolize? The mark is not no chip, see? The mark in the right hand represents what? You're engaging in the system, her philosophy, her customs and traditions. You want to be in the army. You want to go around just like she's doing, conquering the other nations. You proud to be an American. So in actuality, when you saying that you proud to be an American, you're proud to be what? A Roman, see? You worship her gods. So-called black man, you worship her God. You say that Jesus was born on December the 25th. He was immaculately conceived. He's Abraham's God. That's the mark in your right hand. And in your forehead, meaning that what? You took on the spirit and the characteristics of the Roman Empire. So when we talk about the mark, the physical aspect of the mark is you engaging into her philosophy, her teaching. And to be honest with you, you got a lot of us that's in the truth. We mean well. We got the mark of the beast too. We may know the Mashiach's name today, or whether we may pronounce it as Yahawashah or Yahshua, but we're still following after the traditions of the Greco-Roman Empire. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. See, that's you engaging into the system. You want to be a politician. You want to be a pastor. right? But you don't know how to wear the system as a loose garment. I'm an American now. I'm an African American. And this ain't just to our people, this the nations. You got the Chinese, you got all these different nations come over here and they take on the spirit of America. They practice her customs, her homosexuality in the earth. It's okay for two men to sleep with each other. It's okay for two women to sleep with each other. It's okay for the children to have two mommies and two daddies. That's the beast and his mark. It's because if you're not following after the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Creator, you got the mark of the beast. That no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the number of the beast or the number of his name. See? Because if you're not worshiping the Most High Yah, you worshiping who? The devil. That's who you worshiping. You can't buy and sell. These countries today, if they don't want to come up under the American democracy and things of this nature, you can't eat. See? They're going to starve you out. That's why over there in Cuba, when Cuba fought what you would call the Cold War, America put sanctions on those nations. Now you got the Cuban people, they've been in the dark ever since what? The 60s. They're still driving cars from the 1930s. So that's a glimpse of, if you don't accept the beast and his mark, that what? You're not going to be able to buy and sell. You're not going to be able to do what? Trade with the countries. When the country creates new technology, you're not going to be able to get the new technology. See? When she continued to increase in what they would call the age of enlightenment, you're not going to be enlightened. But the light that she's shining is what? The light of the adversary. So with that, brothers and sisters, we're going to finish this out. All praises to the Most High Yah and death to America.